This Road to Osaka series is powered by Mizuno. Hear from Reece Edwards, Rachel McGuinness and Julian Spence and other top Australian marathoners in their push to the Osaka Marathon on February 25. All right, welcome to episode 2 of Road to Osaka Marathon. We are here joined by 2 of the athletes competing. One of them is up at Falls Creek at an altitude stint. Rachel McGuinness, welcome.
Hi, hello.
We'll get to Falls later. We'll want to hear all about that. The other one is back home from holiday, Reece Edwards. How are you going?
Cheers, mate. It's good to be back. Well, it's good to be back on the podcast. It's not good to be back in Melbourne.
Yeah. Well, one's gone on holiday, the other's come back from holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Rach, how is Falls Creek? Tell us what it's like. Kind of let the listeners know how it is on a training camp up there.
Yeah, so we came up Saturday, so just 2 days ago. So I haven't been here that long, and it's my first time coming up here. And actually my first time ever coming to altitude in summer other than going somewhere for skiing. I think is it 1,500 meters here? Is that right? About that.
I think it's about 2,000 near the top, isn't it? At the summit?
Yeah. But where most people stay down in the village bowl is about 1,500. So yeah, there's quite a few people up here at the moment. Like the On Athletic Club are here. Like Brett, Rose Davies, Izzy, Jen, Eloise, they're all here. So it's quite a few people out and about doing runs. So most people, not that I've been able to really join on any of the group runs, but people I think meet most mornings around 9 o'clock to do their sessions or long run or whatever in the morning. And then most people are sort of doubling in the afternoon around 4. And then there's like a little gym that I've been going to the last couple of days. But there's been a few other athletes in there. So yeah, it's good. First time getting to do something like this. So even though I was hoping to be sort of more in the high mileage of a marathon block, it's still fun to get to try out living as a sort of professional athlete for a week, getting plenty of sleep and doing the later morning runs. Nice.
With those groups that are up there, the big groups, are there a lot of rec runners too, or is it mainly just high-end elites?
There are a few. I mean, I went for a jog this morning and there were a few kind of recreational runners. But I feel like the way I'm moving at the moment, people would look at me and say that I'm a recreational runner. So yeah, I think there are a few, and a few people have brought up their partners, and so a few people out jogging about a bit slower than the kind of high level athletes.
Yeah. Can you explain, as someone that's never been to Falls Creek, is there a town centre, or can you picture, because I'm just picturing, I don't know, one building with dormitories style kind of thing.
No. There's a whole bunch of hotels and because obviously it's a ski town in winter, so there's all the kind of apartments and ski chalet type places that everyone stays at. And then the village bowl has, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so restaurants and cafes. Not all of them are open during summer, because obviously winter's the busier time, but there's a few places open. It doesn't feel busy. There's not many people out and about on the street, or the restaurants and bars aren't busy at the moment, but there's enough places to get a bite to eat, and there's a little supermarket, and just a very small little village.
You're at the you're quietening down now. How long have you been there? What day did you get there?
Just 2 days ago. We got here Saturday, Saturday evening by the time we got here. So
yeah, it's I think it gets really busy just after New Year's maybe. the first week after Chrissy. That's where heaps of juniors go up there now. I know.
Yeah, I saw some videos of someone posted some on Instagram of like a bunch of people doing the K-reps on the aqueduct like maybe last week, and there was like at least 50 people all doing a K-rep session in like little groups. So I think there's plenty of people that are coming up here.
How's your running been going? Do you want to go through your week and let us know?
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't too much running, let us know what else you've been doing, because that's pretty common to be injured in the running world. So I think you could give some good insight into what rehab looks like, even if it's going through what a gym set looks like.
Yeah. So last week I had it was a bit of an up and down week. So some days were good and some days were bad with the shin. So last Monday, I went to see my physio in the morning, and my physio has, with every issue that I've ever had, has always been very conservative. So I was seeing him to see if I could get the all clear to do some ground running, because I'd finished the week on some of that offloaded running on the Autogy and the lever. So I was kind of going into the appointment fearing that he was going to say, no, you need to give it another week or two, because he's always kind of been more on that conservative side. So I went in and he said, no, you're fine to start ground running. So I was like, great, like music to my ears, but really wasn't expecting him to say that. And then he gave me some treatment that honestly was like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like he was thumb to like bone in the calf. I was like sweating bullets, and when I got off the table there was like a full imprint of my body in sweat on the table, and I could like hardly walk for 2 days after that. So saw him on the Monday, and I saw a podiatrist as well, because I'm just trying to like sort of tick off all those things that I haven't like dealt with in the past, because I've never had like a lower leg issue or an ankle issue before. So I'd never seen a podiatrist before. So saw him, he taped up my foot, and saw the physio, and then got cleared to do some ground running, and went out on Monday afternoon. And Monday was the day where it absolutely poured with rain. So I went out I wanted to do half an hour, and I was told to go a bit more on the softer ground because that's better for like deloading this. So I jogged from where I live to Citizens Park, which is a dog oval, like a dog park, and went round doing laps of that. And like, it was just, the weather was awful. There was like dog shit everywhere. And like my calf was like sore. Like it was like maybe 3 or 4 out of 10 after the treatment. And I was just like, this is just like painful in more ways than one, not just the calf. So I stopped at like 20 minutes and jogged home, and was just like, okay, I'll just have to see how this pulls up after that. And then we recorded on Monday evening, and I went to Ballarat for work on Tuesday.
Did you not put? Yeah. Sorry, is this not on Strava? Just for anyone who might be following.
No, just that 20-minute run isn't on Strava, no.
Right.
Oh, okay. It's hiding runs.
Yeah, I mean, it was at 5:12 per K, so it was a real shuffle for me.
So what's the threshold to get onto Strava?
Yeah.
Well, so to be honest, I was like, I don't even know like how much of this run I'm going to get through. So I was just like, I don't know, just put it on private. I don't know why. Oh. And then and then the following day, like it was so sore all day at work, like all through the calf. And I worked a 10-hour shift, and I was like, right, I'm going to see if I can maybe stomach going for a run on this. Got changed, and I've been going up and down to Ballarat probably for like a year now, working up there during like the week for quite a bit. And Ballarat, for anyone that is like local, like the weather is quite unpredictable. Got to Ballarat, and this was the 2-3 best days of weather that has ever been in Ballarat ever since I've been working there. And it was like glorious sunshine. Got changed, left where I was staying, I jogged a mile, and then I stopped, and I was just like, this just is too sore. So yeah, I just ran 1 mile on the Tuesday night, and didn't put that on Strava either, because I didn't think it was worth putting on. It was 8 minutes of running.
What was sore? The shin, like, or the calf?
Everything. The whole, like, after whatever my physio did, like, it was just like, I don't know, the whole thing was seized up. I reckon, I don't know, you can correct me here, Reece, but because he's always been a bit more conservative, I feel like he maybe told me what I wanted to hear and said, you're cleared to run, and then gave me like the worst treatment of my life, which meant that I couldn't run at all. So I don't know, maybe that was a little trick of his. Because it meant I couldn't run for a while.
No, he's done well.
Yeah. And then that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday, it was just still so sore. So I was just like, I'm not even going to bother trying. So I just went for a walk after work. And then Thursday, I came back to Melbourne after my shift. And I went straight to another massage, and had some dry needling and some cupping. I was just like, throw anything at this to try and make it better. And I managed to get out for like 5K round Albert Park. So I just went on the gravel track because that's obviously a bit softer. And that was like starting to get a bit better. Like maybe, I think I said around a 2 out of 10 pain. And for me, the pain is coming more when I'm springing off the ground rather than on impact, because I've been trying to like really tune myself into like bone stress or red flag type symptoms. So I haven't been getting any night pain. The pain's worse more on springing off the ground, and it's also worse first thing in the morning. So after a period of rest, after I've been sleeping, when I wake up, it's kind of all seized up and sore, which isn't in keeping with that kind of bone type pain. So
does it warm up when you get running?
Yeah. So like usually, not even just running, like I wake up in the morning and it's like stiff and sore for 20 minutes, but after I get up and just walk about a bit, like usually by the time I leave for work or whatever, it's okay.
Does that mean that it's more likely to be a tendon injury or a muscle
or anything inflammatory, really? Any kind of, so I think that's the periosteal inflammation, so the lining of the bone that's inflamed, and once it gets warmed up, it's less symptomatic. So
yeah.
And then
that made Friday, it to Strava though. That one did,
yeah. Because I don't know, I kind of felt like at that point I was like, that was a bit of a turning point, because I was like, this is finally starting to feel a bit better. So I didn't want to just like go onto Strava and just like do a 1 mile run 1 week and then my next run not to be like for another 2 weeks after that. So I wanted to wait until like I felt like actually I'm going to be starting to do a bit more running, rather than just like kind of sporadically putting up stuff that wasn't going to be consistent.
How much do you think about Strava during your run? About whether that run will get up or not?
Oh no, like when I'm running normally, never.
But afterwards, you think you consider it?
I wouldn't say it was something I was thinking about like deeply during the run, but I don't know.
So do you always manually upload your Strava runs, or do you turn it on to like automatic sync?
It's normally on automatic. Yeah. So I took that one, like I had to manually unload it.
Oh, so you had to be quick.
Private. Yeah.
Had to get it done within 3 seconds. Oh, pressure was on.
Yeah.
It's a funny concept, this, isn't it? Because you've obviously considered, you've run, you've got home, it's gone up, and you've thought, I'm going to go to the effort to take this down, rather than you're going to go to the effort to put up. It's like, no, I'm going to go in, take it off, because of what reason?
Well, as I said, I was just like, I don't want to just be randomly like posting like one run today and then not another run for like a couple of weeks. I wanted to wait until I felt like it was going to be like, I felt like I was out the other side of this.
Is it because you don't want people sort of judging your recovery, or
no,
because there's there's got to be some sort of reason why you don't want to be, why you care about it, I guess.
I just didn't really want to spam people with literally a 1 mile run on the tube. Like I was just like, this is like pointless, this being on Strava. Like I don't need anyone, I don't need to get kudos or anything from this. People aren't going to gain anything from seeing me do I don't know, it's not really, I didn't particularly think it was interesting for people to see, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it is.
Moose, did you know about this 1 mile run before right now?
I'm not sure, not about the 1 mile. However, I'm going to counter Rachel here, and I'm going to say, Rachel, you put up weight sessions on Strava.
I do.
Yeah, and elliptical sessions.
And elliptical. Yeah. So I would consider that more of a spam than a 1 mile run.
Yeah. So I if there was a way to change that, to change your activities so that you could have some be uploaded to public and some not, instead of having to manually do that every time, I would happily take all my weights and all of that off of Strava, because I like to track it for myself, because I want to know how, like, am I getting my strength sessions done every week? Like, I like to track that for myself, but yeah, so that just goes up automatically.
Right. And there's so many of them, you can't take it down every time.
Oh, it's just an effort. Yeah.
All right. We got to the bottom of it. Continue, because you're building momentum here.
Yeah. Then Friday, I did just 40 on the elliptical, and then Saturday just did 50 minutes on the elliptical, and my weights, and then we came up to Falls that afternoon. So then
25 minutes of weights. That's a pretty quick little workout. What is it?
Yeah,
what does it look like?
I think I just did calves and kind of lower limbs stuff that day, but yeah.
You're doing bent knee and straight knee for your calf muscles?
Yeah, do both. Yeah,
what sort of reps and sets and stuff you're doing? What sort of weight you're doing?
So I do isometric holds, just body weight, for both bent and straight knee, and then I do full range of movement. I do a seated, when I'm at my normal gym, I do a seated calf weight. Usually do about 55 kilos, and then I usually do 10 to 12 reps.
And that's double leg or single leg?
Single leg.
Single leg. Nice. And how much do you mind if I ask how much you weigh?
Yes, yeah, so that's just under my body weight cut, like at the moment. Like I kind of fluctuate around that kind of mid 50s.
Yeah, nice. So you're literally single leg, bent knee, calf raising around your body weight.
I can't do that on a bent knee one, but on a more of a, well, because on a seated you do kind of slightly have a bent knee, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's just for everyone listening. That's like phenomenal. That is very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started doing strength stuff at the gym, I was so weak. Like when I wasn't doing any stuff with the barbell until I got my sacral stressy last year, and then my physio said, all right, we're going to start doing some axial loading with heavy weights. He got me to pick up his barbell that's in his clinic, and I was like, Jesus, how much does this thing weigh? Like, what is it, like 30, 40 kilos? He was like, no, it's 15 kilos. And I started off just doing the barbell when I was doing those kind of squats, and I do like heavy step ups onto a step, and I'm now up to about 70 kilos with that. So
whoa, nice.
Stepping up really with 70.
Yeah, I mean, that's like some days I won't do 70s, but like I'd say 55, 60 is the lowest I'll do, and then I can do up to 70 now. 70 is my current PB. Yeah,
that is impressive. Do you like the gym?
I don't like love it as much as I love running, but I don't mind doing it. Like I get a certain sense, like I think because when I started doing that heavier stuff, like midway through last year, I was getting like continuous positive reinforcement with like every week being able to put like an extra 5 kilos of weight on. So something where you get like that short circuit feedback system, like telling you that you're improving. So yeah.
Cool.
Then that was Saturday, and then I said we drove up here, and then so Sunday the calf had been like, after I'd done that run Thursday night, it was like a bit sore, but not as bad as it had been at the beginning of the week. So I decided I'll just see if I can go do 90% body weight again with the lever. So I did 60 minutes on the treadmill at 90% body weight, and that's the first time where I ran, and it was like a little bit stiff at the start, but then I'd say for the majority of the run, then I had like almost no pain. So like that was when I felt like, right, this is really starting to come out of the other end of it, like these last few weeks. So, and then I did just an elliptical double 30 in the evening yesterday. So yeah.
What were your first thoughts as you drove up to Falls, like as you drove into the village?
Yeah, I mean, it like the drive is like, it says you've only got 50k to go, but it says like you've still got like an hour and a half, because the whole road is just like so windy to get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Like I was just like excited to come and like see what the crack was here, because like you hear about people coming up here every year, and yeah, well, that's why me and my partner were here with a friend as well, and booked it because we just all wanted to give it a go at like seeing what life is like up here as pretending to be a pro athlete.
Yeah. There are a lot of good spots to run up there.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be hard for a marathon block because there's not a ton of long roads or anything like that. It can be a bit traily.
Yeah. There are there's a few people up here. I think Liam's up here at the moment. I don't know
which marathon's
I assume he's I have heard one. I don't know if it's like
you can tell
common knowledge.
If you just tell us what you heard.
I've heard that he's doing Osaka as well.
Oh, so, right. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Eloise is doing one as well. So
yeah. I think she's doing Nagoya.
Yeah.
And
then
Izzy's not doing a marathon.
Yeah, so I've heard that she's going to try and get an Olympic standard for one of the shorter distances.
Yeah,
I think the guys spoke about that last week. They said they thought that she was not going to go again because she thinks that she's secure in her position, but I think she's not going again because she's going to go for a 5 or a 10K.
Yeah.
That women's marathon team selection, that is an interesting one. That is so interesting. That could go any way.
Could it though? Yeah. Or do you just go with the fastest?
Well, I have a slightly different opinion. I don't want to ruffle too many feathers.
No, go for it. Okay. Bring it on.
So you could just pick on the fastest times within that kind of period, or do you realistically, were all our fastest women in the same race last December?
Not all of them.
Well, I shouldn't say all of them. But like, obviously, you got like Ellie wasn't there. Well, Sinead wasn't there either. But kind of a lot of the other contenders were there. Does it matter what play or like how you placed against the other Aussie women in that race?
But I think like for someone like Lisa that had COVID on that day and still ran a 2:24 and did very well at the World Champs.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
And had a 2:23.15 in the same year. You can't say, just because Izzy and Jen beat. I don't know.
I think
so. It's risky what Izzy's doing then.
As in going for the shorter distance.
I think she's almost just giving up on the marathon selection there. She's banking on someone getting injured. That's what I think she would be doing.
Right.
So you think she thinks that she's probably the fourth pick then at the moment?
Yeah. That's what I would. Yeah, because she is the fourth pick.
But again, then that's still also risky. Waiting out the time with Ellie and Eloise both going again.
Yeah.
But Valencia is the most optimal of places to run fast. And if you can't run 2:23 there, you ain't running it at Nagoya or Osaka. She probably knows that. I think the trials would be so good. I would just
for that third spot. Just for the third spot, I reckon two automatics off time, and then that third spot. It doesn't even have to be like an independent race. It could be somewhere.
Definitely, it could be. Yeah.
At like a women's only race, because do they still do the women's only Osaka Marathon?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks.
Then you've got Nagoya. Like you could literally just be like, "Hey, this is going to be for the third spot."
I don't think you could do it overseas because it limits people. I think you'd have to do it. You'd have to do it in a domestic race, and you'd have to provide probably some sort of assistant to everyone to get there. But then you got to think, okay, like April races, maybe earlier than that would even be better. In Australia, there's just not many around.
They go join you at Port Fairy, Reece.
Yeah, they could.
I'm going to ask you about that actually.
I'd be happy to assist.
I think you did a math on the old Port Fairy Marathon.
I looked that up. It's only a week before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Reece can do anything he wants. All right. So how many Ks for the week are we saying? Are we counting percentage body weight? Where did we fall
if we don't count the percentage body weight, then it's not much. And if it's only what's public on Strava, then it's 5K.
It's hard to claim stuff now, though. I can't see. We just got to believe
so
you.
I'll go with 5K then.
I would like an insight into your coaching athlete kind of relationship that we're hiding runs.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it wasn't even really a run.
1 mile, it's still a run. Are you saying that anyone that does a mile race is not really a run?
I've got a question actually. Do you reckon the physio tracks your progress using Strava?
Don't know actually.
Because that's a pretty good.
I think he does have Strava.
Yeah, like that would be a good way to monitor as a physio.
That would be.
When the first ever dietitian I saw 2 or 3 years ago, he followed me on Strava afterwards to track what I was doing. But yeah, my physio doesn't. But it would be an easy way to do it.
Your appointment ended the time you walked out the door.
Yeah.
He's not at 8 p.m. thinking, I'll just go check what Rachel's doing.
No.
That'd be a good bloody physio. If you find a physio doing that, stay with them.
Invested,
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, sounds like you're on the right track. We might get some more running next week.
Yep.
That'd be good. You can tell us more about running at Falls too.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, have you been starstruck at Falls? That was a question I had. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't say starstruck because, you see most of these people around at races and things. I had a chat to Eloise yesterday morning. Coaches?
Well, they're like sometimes famous old runners.
No, I haven't seen anyone like that.
Is that how you see yourself now, Moose?
Is Craig Mottram not there?
I don't know if he is, but I haven't seen him.
Right,
Zach Faccioni was in the gym when I went there this morning. But yeah, I had a chat to Eloise yesterday morning, just said well done about Valencia, and she actually told me that she's had shin splints before, so they gave me a bit of advice for that. Because it's weird, hardly anyone that I speak to has had it, which is weird for it being such a common injury. But I think it's just more common in recreational runners that are starting out. So
yeah,
we have tons in the store with shin pain.
Yeah,
tons. Yeah,
I reckon it'd be the first complaint. All recreational runners, it'd be the first one that's going to go is shins.
Yeah.
What's your shoe preference, mate? If someone walks in, they're got shin pain down here. Is there a magic shoe you're going for?
It's tricky because there's probably not footwear related at all, which for Rachel, it probably isn't. However, there might be some certain ways to unload the tib post if that's playing more of a part. So perhaps like a posted shoe or a higher offset, a higher pitch. Even using heel raisers seems to have helped me with my shin. Just range of motion, taking load off that tib post is the main thing we look at.
And I think you've nailed that because, Rachel, you've spoken a couple of times about you go to the podiatrist and they're taping your foot. Can you explain to everyone why they're taping your foot, or have they explained to you why they're taping your foot? Yeah,
so I have I pronate more on my left, so my left foot rolls inwards as I run, and I have accessory navicular, so I have an extra bone in both of my feet, which increases that pronation as well because I've just got a bit more of a chunky bone on the inside of my arch there. So the physio is taping from the sort of bottom of the foot up and around the inside of my arch to pull my foot up and out to prevent it rolling in as I run.
Yeah, because I think a drop navicular is one of the risk factors for developing MTSF.
Yeah, that's right.
How long does taping provide a supportive support a taped foot?
So he said, look, I'll tape it up and then just shower with a plastic bag on your foot until for a couple of days. So I had it on for maybe 2-3 days and then took it off. And the tape, of course, gets a bit more lax after a couple of days, but you can still feel that it's pulling your foot up. If I walked around barefoot, I could feel that my foot wasn't rolling in as much. And I've got some sort of makeshift orthotics in my shoes now that he kind of did with a bit of padding and a heel lift. And I'm getting some proper orthotics next week.
Right. Okay. There you go. Good. All right, Reece, you have been on holiday still, pro-life.
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed 6 days. I flew back to Melbourne on Sunday, but yeah, I enjoyed 6 days out of this last week up in Woolgoolga, the Anglesey of the North, as they say. Except I guarantee real estate's more expensive up there, mate.
Well, it has to be. It's warmer
Is Anglesey
weather.
cheap, is it? It's warmer weather, yeah. Anyway, enough about that. So I did that 30-kilometer steady long run on Sunday last week. So Monday this week, I just got out and did 15 kilometers easy with a mate on Monday morning, followed by 11 kilometers easy with another mate on Monday afternoon. And then similar sort of thing on Tuesday, just an easy day. So 14 kilometers in the morning, nice and easy jogging, and 10Ks in the Arvo, easy jogging. And then that leads us to Wednesday. So Wednesday I did kind of I decided to do a little bit of a Norwegian style thing. That seems to be the latest craze. It's not. So I thought, you know what? I'm happy to be a sheep and follow the latest craze. So I did my similar sessions to last week. So I did 20 minutes tempo over kind of like a little rolling terrain into 6x400 meters. I ran the 20 minutes tempo, just similar effort. Can I tell you what that is in heart rate compared to last week? No, it's just my perceived effort. But I ran 3:15 pace for the 20 minutes tempo, and then I was running my 400s on a grass track in about 69, and they were off 60 seconds rest. That afternoon, I then did a 15-minute hill thresh. So
what did you do? You said 69.
69 seconds.
Yeah.
For the 400s.
Is that what you're aiming for?
Wear?
I was aiming for sub 70. So, yeah, I could have pushed a little bit harder, but I was decided not to. Yeah, so that was my morning session. That did 16 kilometers in total, and then I cruised around the beach and enjoyed myself all day. And then that afternoon, I decided to do a 15-minute hill thresh. There's like this nice dirt hill just out the back of this town. It's about 4 kilometers to get there. And I want to say it's averages for the 15 minutes, the average gradient was 5%. So there's a couple of steep pitches. There's one bit where it kind of dips down a little bit. So I averaged about 4:09 pace for the 15-minute thresh. But that was like one of the hardest things I've ever done. If I wore a heart rate monitor, I imagine that would have been close to max, because that's how it felt.
How are you calling that a threshold and then telling me it's the hardest thing you've ever done?
Well, it was beyond threshold. It was a...
Just because you ran it for 20 minutes doesn't make it a threshold.
Oh, it was 15 minutes anyway. It was 15 minutes hard. Is that what you want to hear?
Well, I've got a few things to talk about here, but continue. Let us talk about.
It was hard where I could feel, in my throat. I could feel the run in my throat. So that's how hard it was.
So is this what the Ingebrigtsens do?
Actually, I have no idea. I just know they do two work. They do two work. I don't really care what the Ingebrigtsens do either. They run like short distance.
Oh boy!
And they've got all day as well. So the reason why I did the hill stuff as well is actually, if you have a look at my gait, there is a reason behind it. If you have a look at my gait, I am quite hamstring dominant and have a big kickback, and my hip drive isn't that great. So I'm actually, whilst I was up there, I was trying to use a lot of hills just to kind of mechanically maybe change some of my gait cycle a bit. So there actually was a little bit of a method behind my madness.
All right. So you've done you'd say race effort if it's near max going up that hill?
Yeah, I've done a 15-minute race effort, yeah. But that'd be like a 10K race effort, even faster.
So the purpose of doing 2 workouts in one day again, just tell me.
Just tell you why I did that, because I can.
Because you have the time off?
I had the time off. I'd never do that whilst I'm at work. As purely I had the time off. Also, I was flying back to Melbourne this week as well. So I only really had the opportunity, because I did the fast long run last Sunday, to do workouts on Wednesday and Saturday this week. So if I wanted to do more than 2 workouts, I had to kind of double on one day.
And did I was just going to ask, with regards to the morning session, did you limit your effort knowing that you were going to be doing a double session?
Yeah. Like I didn't go max. I pulled up 5 from the morning session.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have done a workout Tuesday?
Because so my alarm went off at 5 a.m. and then I decided I didn't want
to. So did you say I'll do 2 tomorrow instead?
I said I'll do 2 tomorrow instead. Exactly right. And it's as simple as that.
All right.
Yeah. I don't overcomplicate things, as you can see.
God told you what God told you. Like the old
I looked up at this. I looked up at the sky, and he said, "Son, go back to bed." Okay, so yeah, exactly. But also, I kind of deep down wanted 2 days recovery after, because I sessioned the previous Saturday and then did a fast long run on the Sunday. So I kind of did want 2 days easy after that. I didn't want to rush back on the Tuesday.
So you wanted 2 days, 2 days after the long run, but 6 hours after the workout on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So you only want long recovery after Sundays, not Wednesday mornings.
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. You know how this works. You must have been reading the Reece Edwards book of training.
I'm enjoying this. I'm taking notes. Because if you run 2:09, we are changing everything, Rachel. You're going on Reece Edwards program.
Exactly right. You wake up and you do what you want, when you want, how you want. Thursday, I did like a medium long run, but I made it quite hilly. So I did 25 kilometers and had about 700 meters elevation in it. So that was a 2-hour long run to do the 25K. And then that afternoon, that's a dirt road. Yeah.
Nice.
And then that afternoon I did 8Ks, easy, just relaxed. And then Friday morning, so my brother-in-law sends me a message on Thursday night, and he goes, "Keen to ride your bike out to this place called Station Creek. It's like this camp and reserve type thing." And I was like, being the sort of person I am, I was like, absolutely. So on Friday morning, instead of running, I did about 2.5-hour mountain bike ride along this rutted dirt road where my forearms couldn't really feel them for a couple of days afterwards. But I had a great time, and it was good fun. And on the way back, he kind of thrashed my legs a bit. So I did that on Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon we got out and I did an hour run, very easy on Friday afternoon.
What did the bike ride replace? What was the...
It just would have replaced like a kind of 45 minutes to an hour easy jog. So it actually made things harder.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. And I'll tell you now, 2.5 hours on a mountain bike, if you haven't been on one for years, in board shorts, it has caused, like, I'm still feeling the remnants of that ride. And it's like, because there's a lot of holiday traffic on this road at the moment, it's got like those little ruts, those little kind of divots. So it's just do. Yeah, it wasn't great. No. And fun fact, there's a road in Boulder. When I was over in Boulder, everyone goes on this road near the reservoir. And when you watch YouTube or Instagram, it looks like this incredible road. And it's got these sort of divots and ruts in it. And it's actually terrible to run on, just putting it out there. Yeah. So don't believe everything you see on social media.
He brought out the bike, Rachel. He wants us to ask him about it.
The bike?
Yeah. 500 kilometers on a track.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Don't bring this up.
He tried his hardest to weasel it in, and he got it. Apparently, you're pretty proud of yourself about a long bike ride you once did, Reece.
Yeah, of course. So I'm the sort of character where if someone sends you a message and they're like, "This weekend, do you want to ride around a velodrome for 500 kilometers?" I say yes. Even though beforehand I had only ridden the bike for no more than 2 hours. And yeah, that was an eye-opening moment. Once again, that was similar to BWA, where I didn't really know about nutrition either. Just putting down sausages every 2 hours. Nah, I bought some bike shorts the day before.
Yeah.
I learnt about chamois cream for that. How long did it take, mate? Yeah. It took about 22 and a half hours.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Oh. Yeah. There's something a bit wrong with you.
How did you pull up after that?
Well, to be honest, I was 18, so I can't remember, and I'm sure I pulled up a bit rough, but I wouldn't have cared back then.
Nah, you can do anything you want at 18.
Yeah, 18, absolutely. If I knew I could run when I was 18, my goodness. I wouldn't be running now anyway.
All right, get back. Your Wi-Fi went nuts. All right, let's run the next. You're still going. You've got heaps of your week to go. You did so much this week. I've got
Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I repeated last week's. I did park run plus 5 by 1 kilometre off 90 seconds rest. I ran 15:19 for the park run, so I was 9 seconds slower this week. So, what's the point of even turning up if you can't run a PB every week?
You didn't have a doctor on your toes this time, then?
I did actually, and I didn't drop him this week either. Yeah, he was too nice to go around me, but afterwards, you definitely could have surged. He's like, oh yeah, I had a little bit left in there, but he was just too nice to me.
He said that to you? He said he could have taken you.
Oh, absolutely, he could have taken me, mate. He was doing it easy. So then I was on the 5 by 1K. I was like, okay, do you want to join me for a couple of 1K reps? I think he had a date. I was like, mate, just put that on hold. That stuff comes and goes. Don't worry about that. He's going to get a croissant. So he came and joined me for he did 2 of the K reps and he dropped me in them. I think he was running 253. So his name's Tate Herps. And I don't know if that name means anything. I think he's got ties to Sweat Elite Moose.
Oh,
Tate Herps.
Tate, Tait. So I think he might have been part of Sweat Elite when they were getting off the ground a little bit, and then he might have decided medicine's a better road to go down.
Yeah. Well,
I could be wrong.
What wasn't Kevin Batt part of Sweat Elite or something early days?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I'm not in the world of social media and influencing and YouTube.
Some would say that's exactly what you are.
We hide behind.
Even if you want to deny it.
We are podcasters are not in that same category because all we do is talk shit.
Yeah, you don't reckon you could just start a YouTube channel and talk shit? I reckon you could do a good job.
Well, we've got the cameras on now. Maybe we should start our own channel.
Yeah, you should, mate. You should. That's how you sell shoes as well. You'd be selling them to Belgium. You'd be selling them to Alaska. Get some UGG boots in. Sell it to the Alaskans.
We might talk about shoes later, actually, because I want to. Well, we got an event coming up, which we'll get into later. I think it just got confirmed right before the show started.
Oh, right. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so we can talk about that.
I'll quickly finish my week so we can move on then, because I just flew back to Melbourne on the Saturday and then I did a long run on Sunday. That was 35K, and that's my week done.
35 easy K?
Yeah, that was easy. And I just did a very boring. Anyone in Melbourne, I did 2 laps of the Yarra Boulevard, just out back. Just chilled.
Got going though.
Yeah, I was kind of, to be honest, I was over it by the end and I was feeling quite good. So I kind of just, it's a little bit easier on the way back. So I kind of just went with the momentum. And they've opened the bridge. I don't know if you know this, Rachel. They've opened that bridge, because on the way there, I ran all the way around. Then I got around there. I was like, you're kidding me. They opened that goddamn bridge. Yeah.
Any gels on that?
What are we talking about?
There's this bridge, I don't even know Melbourne well enough, but it links kind of Victoria Street across to this Yarra Boulevard, and it's been out of action for over 12 months.
So you had the IKEA?
So you kind of have
the Skipping Girl Bridge.
Bridge. Yes, that's right, yeah. They did an 8-month refurb of it, and it looks exactly the same.
Right. That used to be the meeting
That's a bit harsh.
Everyone used to meet there and do runs there. We used to do hill reps up the hill on the other side.
Oh yeah,
that goes.
Yeah.
That's a good area. Hey, what happened to your Strava? You stopped your watch and restarted or something? I'm just
So yeah, that really, really, really pissed me off. That there's some ridiculous straight line across there. So I don't think it's Strava's fault. I could throw hate at a watch company right now that did this, but I don't know what happened there because my splits and everything seem normal. There's no 159 kilometer or anything. But yeah, it looks like I went on a gondola or something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as long as you're okay with it. So it's hard to know with the bike ride, but what do you have for your mileage for this week?
185 kilometers of running.
All right. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how much you'll do? Will you do more than that?
That's probably about it. If it is more, it would only be marginal, like by 5 or so K. But this week is my last week currently right now of paternity leave. So after that, when I get back to work, they'll definitely be less. They'll definitely drop down to 160 max. So I'd say they'll probably be topping it out, yeah.
Well, you don't have too much longer. We're sitting at 5.5 weeks. It will be 5 weeks by the time people listen to this show.
Yeah.
For the public, anyway. Rachel, this isn't fair on you, but how are you feeling for the race as we sit right now? Your fitness.
Yeah. See, the thing is, my fitness, I was starting, I think, before this happened I was starting to feel like I was starting to gain fitness, and I don't think I'll have lost a huge amount. It's only been 3 weeks since I stopped my proper training, and I don't think I'll have lost any fitness, but the issue is I haven't had this 3 weeks to be gaining volume, doing long runs. So I'm just, if I make it to the start line, I just worry about the lack of mileage in my legs for that tail end of the marathon. But that's just the situation that I'm in. That can't be helped.
Yeah, it's not really worth forcing it for a race that you weren't going to really PB in anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been right for this marathon anyway. So, at least I didn't get struck down with this when I was in the peak fitness of my life. So,
yeah, that's fair. Do you reckon it hurts more if you're fit and you get injured like that than if you're I don't know. Feel like you just keep getting knocked back down when you're injured all the time.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. When I got the sacral stress, I was the absolute fittest I've ever been in my life, and I was meant to be doing the night of the 10K PB, so I qualified for the A race. So it's like a big race in the UK. It's the British champs for 10,000 meters. So I got the stressy about 2 weeks before that, and I really felt like I was in top form. I thought I was going to run sub 33 minutes, and so that hit me really hard getting that. Whereas now, even though it sucks to get an injury after coming back from another one, I knew I was still nowhere near that kind of shape. So yeah, it's kind of swings and roundabouts. Injuries are it's not if, it's when. When you run as much as we do, you just have to expect for them to come at some point, because we're pushing our bodies on a fine kind of knife's edge, aren't we?
You ride the line.
Yeah.
If you have ambition, you ride the line.
Yeah, definitely.
Reece, your current review of fitness or assessment of where you're at?
I think I'll be able to give you a better kind of gauge after this week being back in the Victorian weather. Just the heat and humidity up there. It was just, honest. I was doing shorter sessions and then a couple of longer, steadier long runs and a lot more hills. So it's actually really hard for me to gauge. I could be in 212 shape. I could be in 217 shape. I don't really know. I'm fit. I just don't know how fit.
Okay. Well, your
what
fitness.
About you, Jules?
I'm going okay. I'm going okay. Yeah, I won't get carried away with it. I'll go through my week quickly.
Yeah.
Then I can explain what I'm thinking. So on Monday morning, I ran. Who did I run with? I ran 18K. I reckon this was potentially by myself. Can't remember. Maybe, can't remember. Got a bit of a head start on the week because I didn't have a Sunday long run. The next morning, ran with Kieran around town. Just another jog, 12K or so. Double in the Arvo. Oh, this was gross. So this was the pram run. You get a mention here, Reece.
What pram you got?
I got an Ironman branded pram. So
that's where you went wrong to start with.
Well, it was a gift, and it's actually like it was a hand-me-down gift from Eliza, our friend, and it hasn't had much use, not because it's no good, but because running with a pram is like the worst thing ever. It fully changes your mechanics. Pushing, Pia's like 14 kilos now, so you're pushing something heavy. You don't have an arm swing, which just fully throws out your mechanics totally. So you kind of push, then you've got a few arm swings in, and you push again. And that's only works if you're on a pretty smooth surface, where we're not really around here. So I was like, this is hard work. This is like doing a heat session. That was the furthest I've gone in a pram before, 6K, and that's as long as I'll ever go.
So what are your thoughts on the world record for the half marathon being 68 minutes with a pram?
Oh, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, there must be a technique to it. There must be like some way where you can run and there's like a pole out your chest that sticks in or something so you can still swing your arm. That's the only way I can think about how they can do it like that.
Would you try a trailer? Just tie it around your waist and go toe mode?
I think that would probably be easier from like a mechanical side of things, but
just a bit more unsafe for the child.
Yeah. It's, the worst bit was at a 3K, she kept saying bush, 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 which means we have to go run in the bush now. So I got off the smooth asphalt and I went and ran on this trail, and that was bumpy and it was even harder and sandy in bits. But she got the bush. She got some bush.
Bush. That's what she wants. She's trying to turn you into a trail runner, mate.
Yeah, well, did you see they just opened Bogong to Hotham back up, Reece? You heard of that race?
Yeah, I've vaguely. I don't know anything about the course records, but
yeah, best race that there's ever been in Australia. It's actually the only trail race worth running.
Which distance have you got the course record at? Because there's a couple of distances, isn't there?
Oh, there's a halfway. No one does that. Or there's the full distance, 64K.
What's the full? So you've got the course record for that?
Yeah, Rachel's up there. You should, if you want to
give it a crack, Rach.
If your shin will allow you to hike, go and check out this staircase spur at Mount Bogong.
Oh, I'll look it up.
Be good rehab.
Yeah. Yeah, coming down might not be good rehab.
Yeah, and then in Mount Beauty at the bottom, there's like a nice little brewery. I mean, what a day, sorted.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really strange race actually, because it's so hilly at the start. You go up and down two of the biggest mountains out there, and then you run 40K relatively flat across like the aqueducts and the high plains, and then you drop massively, and then you go up Mount Hotham. So it's a pretty different type race. You should look at doing that.
And when is it? This weekend?
Oh no, Oh, is it really?
Oh, I'm just looking it up. The rooftop run, or is that something else?
Yeah, no, that's normally what they call it, the rooftop.
Yeah, this the 20th. That's this.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
There you
go
go.
out and watch, because they run through Langford's Gaps, like the major checkpoint. It's the halfway point. Yeah, it's not very exciting. I wouldn't bother. Everyone's moving pretty slow.
Yeah, it sounds thrilling.
Yeah. What was your pace for your record? Do you remember?
Oh, geez, I don't even know. My Garmin
trail runners don't talk about pace.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, especially when it's as slow as what I was. I was hiking a lot of it. I was hiking.
Nice, good man. That means you're a real trail runner.
Yeah. You should have seen the kit I had on.
Yeah, were the socks up above your knee, or
I had a hat on, like a little floppy hat on backwards, I think.
How do you have a floppy hat on backwards? It's the same thing all the way around.
No, like the little, the hipster running hats.
Yeah.
Oh, what, with the neck flap? No?
No, it's just got a little tiny soft brim.
Oh, you're talking about a cycling cap.
Yeah, like a cycling.
Yeah, they look like that now.
Yeah. Straight out of Fitzroy.
Yeah, it's pretty hip. The workout I did, 3x5K the next morning, the group did it. I started late because I couldn't get my dog back. He was like, we took him on the warm-up, then we got back to the cars, and he found his way into like this little ditch beside the road, which was full of water, and he was hot, and he just tore up and down it and rolled in it, and I couldn't get in there because it was like knee deep. And so the rest of the group started the workout, and I was just standing there like trying to work out how to get my dog back because he was just sitting there looking at me and knew I wouldn't come into the water and get him. So I tried to bluff him out by running off on him, and he just like kept running in the water next to the road. In the end, he wore himself out, but they'd come through for a mile by the time that I was ready to go. I wasn't really doing it with them anyway. So they were aiming for, I think, 320 to 325 pace. And I jumped in, I think, about the first 500, I'm going to say, with them. And then I increased the pace. So my first 5K was 16:17, which is 3:15s. There were floats in between. So my 1K float was 3:31. And then 5K 16:08, which was 3:14s. 3:31, somehow I got that exactly the same in the next float. And the next rep, 3:12. I didn't have any real help in this one. Matt Gunther jumped in for a couple of K through the middle, but pretty much solo again, which was kind of tough, annoying, seeing a group of about 7 people run past doing the workout together, and I was just by myself. It's actually kind of shit, but it toughens you up, I think, mentally. You can find your rhythm. You can get in your little zone, get in your element, and work through stuff in your own head. Yeah. Pretty happy with this workout. Did get a bit hard towards the end, but I was running a bit too fast also. And it's been a little bit of a theme with my workouts is that I feel really comfortable at 3:13, 3:12 pace, but it's just a bit fast for what marathon effort should be. So the workouts are a little harder than they probably have to be. But I can't seem to back off that 3 or 4 seconds. It just doesn't feel right. Don't know how it's going to play out on the day. I don't think this is marathon pace. Maybe second half marathon pace. That's what I'll sort of say. Is that potentially I'll look to run that pace for the second half of the race. But the first half, I don't think it would be safe to do that, given how I'm feeling in these ones. But that was the day. I was pretty fucked after it. I actually had a nap around midday, and I never have naps. I just felt like I couldn't stay awake. I needed the nap. Complementing the Wave Rebellion Pro 2 is the Wave Rebellion Flash 2, combining Mizuno's performance foam with smooth speed assist technology and a nylon plate. Sitting in that do-it-all category, the Flash suits up tempo jogging, tempo sessions, and faster long runs. Yeah.
So just if you ask me to do 3x5K, how much faster than marathon pace do you reckon it is?
In this workout?
Kilometer? Yeah, in this workout.
For me, I don't know, maybe 3-4 seconds a K.
Yeah, you asked me to run 3x5K faster than marathon pace by 3. I don't reckon I'd be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what marathon pace is yet, do we? Like you only know after the race what marathon pace is.
That is true.
Have you ever done 3x5, Rachel?
Yes, but I've only done it as progression before. So
this kind of was a progression too, actually.
Yeah.
When you've run your best marathon block, what did your paces in training? How did they correlate to marathon pace on the day?
So I was used to do long tempos, which would be from sort of 14K up to, I think the longest I did was 22K. And when I ran Valencia, I was tempoing about between 3:34 to 3:36, and then my Valencia pace was 3:40. So, and it was similar, same when I did Gold Coast. It always tends to be about 4 to 5 seconds difference between my tempo pace and what I ended up running for the marathon.
So you would run faster on the day?
No, it's slower. So my marathon, so a tempo at like 3:30, say 3:35, and then I pace at 3:40.
So you've run 22K at a pace faster than what you ran your marathon at?
Yeah.
That is. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting.
I can't do that. I can't. There's no way I could do that. There's no possibility.
No, me neither.
But doing those tempos, like a lot of them towards the end, like because I would wear a heart rate chest strap for those, you could see like my heart rate just like creeping way up to like now since I've had that testing, like it's way above what my threshold was. And those often those last. Some days I'd feel really good and it would just feel like a breeze, but some days like I would be absolutely like felt like race effort in the like last 4K or whatever.
How far off your half marathon pace is that?
My half marathon, like at the time, I set my half marathon PB during the Valencia block, and that was 3:30 or 3:31.
In training, minutes. in a tempo run.
No, as in I did the Burnley half during during the Valencia build, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Damn. So my half marathon pace was a bit quicker than my long tempo pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm no good at that. That's why it gives me confidence, because I've never really been able to train faster than I've raced. So at least I got that going for me. I did not jog that afternoon. I jogged twice, 2 6K runs the next day. And then I just jogged an hour. I think it was on Friday morning. Jogged an hour on Saturday morning. Jogged 6K Saturday evening. And then did another big workout. So Sunday was a long progression. I felt garbage. I woke up. I felt kind of sick. I was like dry reaching when I was doing my teeth. So I thought that I might have been ill, but I just did not feel right. I had trouble getting my porridge down. So I thought, okay, this might not go too well. The plan was 20K steady, 10K a bit faster. There wasn't really a pace in mind. I was thinking maybe 3:20 to 3:25, and then 2x4K at maybe 3:15-ish. So I ran with Toby for the first 20K, and we spent a little bit of time with the other group. We ended up going about 3:46 for 18K after we warmed up, and then change shoes. I had a gel. I did have a fair few gels on this run. But I changed shoes. Toby got on the bike and he rode next to me while I did this 10K. So it was 3:21 pace. I had trouble finding the pace early. Like I really felt like I was sprinting to get up to pace, even though it was downhill. And then I started to perhaps feel a bit better on the back end as we went down a hill. It was a bit of a hillier loop. Then what I was getting was bottles every 15 minutes or every 5K. Actually, it was 5K I pushed it back to. And it was bottles of Precision, the carb-only mix. And so it's like a powder. There's no electrolytes or anything, and it's you mix it to the concentrate you want. So I was thinking, okay, the more the better to a degree. So I went 5 scoops per 500 ml, which gave me 75 grams in 500 ml of carb. Now, I know I can't drink a lot when I'm running, so I broke that up into 125 ml bottles. So I think I was getting about 18 grams of carb per 5K. But the problem with... Sorry.
Did that go down okay? Like
it was really sweet.
Yeah.
And it was a bit thick.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was thick. Yeah.
And what happened was the thick texture, it coated like the back of my throat and it created a real gag reflex, and I kept dry reaching, and I needed water to wash. As soon as I got some water to wash it down, I was fine.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what was going on. Like I was in the jog between the 2 4Ks. So I averaged 3:21 for that 10K and then went into a 4K and ran 3:12. That was downhill. But then in the jog, I did a 1K jog and it was 4:18 pace, but I stopped twice to dry reach, and then went into 4K. This one was uphill, 7 meters. It was 3:11 pace, but by the end, I'm like, could barely swallow because it was so gross in my throat. So it's a good learning lesson as to what not to do on race day. Because I think I'm going to go back to gels, more gels, and maybe some one bottle with a light dose of electrolyte. But yeah, the workout total 40K-ish, about 3:37. So a lot of steady pace work and some fast work at the end. And it was a shit day. Like it was what it says here, 18K an hour winds, but it felt a lot windier than that. So it was a tough one to get through, but I'm glad I did it. And my shin pulled up well. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I think I'm developing a race plan as we go each week, working out what I need to be running. I think I'm going to try to go around maybe 3:18s for the first half, and then kick down if I'm feeling fine for the second half.
Yeah, nice.
What time would that approximate to? Do you know?
If I kept 3:18s, it would be 2:20. I think that's right.
Okay.
2:20 marathon. So
that's it'd be a little bit faster, wouldn't it?
I thought that was
2:19:15.
Yeah, 2:19:15.
Yeah. To be honest, anything under 2:20 would be an extremely good result for me.
I think you'll go much faster than that.
Yeah, well, that would. Thanks, Reece.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like seriously, one with your. I won't give you many compliments, mate, but I think your lifetime of Ks. I don't think you're gonna really fall apart in the back half of any marathon, and obviously you're a lot more sensible than the average marathoner as well. So I reckon it's smart what you're doing. Talk yourself down a little bit, but I reckon you might surprise yourself. I think going under the 2:20 mark won't be an issue for you at all.
It's been a long time since that happened, so we just got to get there.
You'll be a long way under.
When was your last sub 2:20?
Doha World Champs.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good run.
Yeah.
It was.
I never would have said that until I did Singapore.
Well, I look back now and think, that was a lot. I didn't really give myself much credit for that one at the time, but that was probably the hardest thing I've done.
That's a great run.
All right, let's move on from me and let's do two little bits of running news, please. So I had a few messages come through. Social media popped off. There was a world record broken last night or late yesterday, Arvo, whatever. Valencia 10K. Look, this is terrible, but I don't even know her name.
Is it Agnes Jebet?
Oh, good work, Agnes.
I think it's Jebet is her surname.
Jebet
Tirop. Yeah.
From Kenya or Ethiopia? How bad's this? That was a world record.
She's Kenyan.
Yeah. Do you know what happened? Is that someone sent through like 3 or 4 of the same World Athletics profile because they found about 4 Agneses and they were like, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one.
Yeah.
All right. So she's run 28:40. Now, Reece, can you run through just quickly? You haven't broken 30 minutes.
Not on a legal course, no.
Yeah. So officially you haven't broken 30. So that's 1:20 in front of you in 10K. You've run 2:13 for the marathon.
Yeah. She could probably run 2:08. She could probably run the men's Olympic qualifier.
Yeah. She broke the record by 30 plus seconds.
What was her previous PB?
Maybe like 30 minutes or something.
Did she come out of the blue?
Not particularly. She's still pretty good.
She won bronze at World Cross in Bathurst.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But winning bronze at World Cross and running 28:40, which is unheard of. They're very different things. What are your thoughts
Very
here?
different.
Tell me. She wasn't in a super shoe or anything like that. Pretty sure she was wearing like the Takumi Sen, I think, which is
really
maybe like a
faster. She had some plastic rods in there. Yeah. They've just got plastic rods, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Rach. What do you?
You go,
I'll leave Reece out. Let's go with Rach first. I want to hear how an aspiring professional athlete from Australia, female, looks at that and goes, "What fucking hope have I got?"
Oh, it's not even. I don't even consider like anything remotely like that. I'm on the same kind of level as someone like that. So it's not like that's not even something that. It's like me comparing myself to an astronaut. Like I can't comprehend. Like it's so crazy. Like we watched the race here. We watched it live, and like watching them running, and we were looking at all the splits as they came through each K. We had the commentary on in Spanish, but we could kind of understand the numbers as they were going through, and it was just crazy. And there were two women actually. She dropped the girl that came second. I don't know her name. In maybe the last 3 or 4K, and even she ran under 29 minutes as well, like 28:57. So it's almost an unfathomable time for how quick they were going.
So when you take the shoes out, we've had shoes for 6 years now. They're not. If you were like, you can run 28:40 with the first pair of super shoes versus the ones now. So you can pretty much remove shoes from this conversation. How on earth are they running that like 30 seconds faster than the world record?
Yeah. I have seen, because Athletics Weekly posted like a post about it on Instagram, and there are a few comments calling out the legitimacy of the performance. So, which is, I mean, that's always the way. Anytime any world record gets broken, particularly by that amount, that people always question how valid it is. But it is crazy nonetheless.
Good time to bring Reece in, I think.
Yeah.
I will watch my tongue here because I can get myself in a hell of a lot of trouble. Because I have a very strong opinion on what I think's happening here.
Well, you mean here in this race, or you mean in general in the world of athletics?
I think both. And I think I can get myself in a hell of a lot of trouble on a public forum. But I'd just say to people, go look at the statistics coming out by the integrity unit. Go have a look at what's happening.
You
the
mean
sports
like
integrity unit?
Yeah, they've got a list of athletes.
They've got a list, and if you follow it along on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, I think it's almost on a daily basis. You're getting new reports of positive. Like, I have to watch what I say because there's actually no proof that she's done anything here. Maybe they've come across the ultimate magical coaching regime, and coaching is about to change worldwide, and Julian's going to be out of business because he's going to fall behind the times, and maybe there's this new coaching method just about to blow our minds. I don't know. I would love for some investigations, but I will stop there.
Okay, all right. You're avoiding that then. We're going to put
I don't know, because if I don't have evidence on anything, I get in a hell of a lot of trouble right now. If I just straight up, even insinuating what I'm insinuating right now is probably going to get me in trouble.
Yeah, no, fair point. We don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to get this podcast in trouble. So we'll move on to Pat Tiernan overnight, also in Houston. He likes going to Houston and running. He ran 2:07:45, second fastest Australian ever. He qualified for the Olympics. That would now make him athlete number 7 under 210.
Wow.
If I'm going to say,
has there only been 7 Australians under 210?
Clayton, De Castella, Pat Carroll, Mona, Troopy, Robbo, Liam Adams, 8. 10 and number 8. So still a pretty exclusive little list there. What were your first thoughts, Reece, when you saw this? Did you pick 207 for him, or were you thinking a bit slower or faster?
Oh, I think when you look at his potential, you know that a 207 is probably just going to be the beginning, right? Like he's going to go a lot faster, especially he's done like a 1 second negative split. So he's just absolutely, and he's probably played a bit safe realistically. Like he's probably just made sure he gets the Olympic qualifier. So I think that national record, I mean, Robbo's going to lower it as well, but I think that's real interesting now between Pat and Robbo, just probably going to keep knocking down that national record now. Like it wasn't surprising that he ran 207. Let's put it that way. The guy is that quality, and I think what he comes down to Zatopek and what he can do, and it's good to see him actually just put one on the board where you're like, okay, that's around what he should be doing at least.
Yeah.
Rach, as a relatively kind of new Australian sort of distance runner, new to the sport, I guess, the hierarchy of the sport, the elite of the sport, how do you perceive Pat Tiernan, considering you don't see him very often over here?
I mean, I guess I knew that he did well on his debut, because didn't he run like 2:11, was it 02, something like that? Which wasn't that second fastest debut, second fastest debut I think ever. So I think if someone debuts in that sort of time, it's kind of showing that they've got like they're quite high caliber athlete, and that they probably have some room for more improvement. But was this his second marathon then? Was that debut and then this one, or has there been?
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm pretty sure that was it. Pretty sure that's two of them now.
Because he was meant to run, was it World Champs last year? But then I heard he got an injury, but I don't know what it was, and then has obviously come back and run this time, and now he's pretty much secured himself a spot for the team. And it certainly makes it interesting what's going to happen for, like as we've said before, if Liam's going again, and what's going to happen with that for that third Aussie spot, if there's going to be space for someone to go.
Yeah, it does make it interesting. I think Liam, going again, could be interesting if we see him at Osaka. Otherwise, points wise, you think he's on the borderline. I think we're waiting for a few races to go before we can see who else starts to.
There's still a few big, fast races like Seville, like as in it just would push him down the rankings. So it just depends what happens with, I guess, like those big races like Seville, London, Hamburg.
Can he just get picked on discretion anyway?
No.
It has to be some sort of points, is it?
Well, you can run a qualifier. Yeah, that's right. They're going to fill it up with qualifiers first. So they got 80 or so spots for the race. And if they have 80 qualifiers from, including 3 from each country, and they fill it like that, there won't be ranking athletes there, I don't think. I think it will predominantly be there'll be the athletes that are ranked in the top whatever at the end of January. I think there was the top 50 or whatever. And so they could get picked automatically. But Australia aren't doing that. So they could get picked automatically, or they could the country can still use their discretion to select. So if we get
So I can't remember when it was last spoken about. It must have been on the main show. Didn't they say that Liam was just outside that top?
Just outside.
Was it 65? And now he's 169th.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So because
is that including is that including 3 per nation though?
No. Sorry, he's 66th and then 169th overall.
Yeah.
So So I thought Pat didn't push him down then. I don't know how that works, but.
Well, he got a lot of points for the Oceania thing, but Pat's run probably wasn't as many points.
Okay.
But Pat would push out potential, being another qualifier might push out a ranking athlete. But it was good from him. We're going to go through a few quick little questions. I just want to, a few little quick fires, and we'll save some good questions for another time. So first off, this was an interesting one. Question for Rachel. Why do you go by Rachel when your name is Raquel?
My name is not Raquel. My name is Rachel.
Raquel.
It's just one of my friends who I know exactly who that is has written in, and she calls me Raquel.
Okay.
Raquel.
Raquel. I don't mind that.
Raquel.
That could be a bit of a theme, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reece, what time are you hoping to run?
I said it last week. I'd like to run 2:12.
2:12? Don't remember that from last week. Don't think you put it out there last week.
Oh, well, there you go. I mustn't have. Hoping to go sub 2:13, so 2:12.
Is Reece going to... Well, this answers that. Are you going to be brave and have a crack at the qualifier or not? So apparently
No.
not brave. Apparently not brave.
So hold on a second. If I go out for the qualifying pace, there is no one saying I'm brave. I just cop nothing but, oh, that's stupidity. Stupidity.
Sometimes the distance running calls stupid brave. I've seen that a lot, actually.
Oh, maybe if you hold on to the pace till 35 kilometers, you could go down as brave. But when you fall off the pace after, I don't know, 12 kilometers, it's kind of stupidity.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll just throw a random one to you then. Favorite training partner in Melbourne, not including Zach Newman, because he's like obviously the right answer there.
Mate, this is a good question. We've got a little group going called the Mango Boys. And
what
so
boys?
I have the Mango Boys, like the fruit.
Mango.
Yeah, Mango. Yeah, the Mango Boys.
Okay.
So on Saturday mornings we meet up. So Dave Ridley and Ben Kelly, mate, and the Mango Boys. They are my favourite training partners.
Why does none of Dave Ridley's like professional Instagram stuff include you?
Well, I haven't been around for a while.
No, I don't think it's ever included you.
Oh mate, you need to look closer.
No, you're never there. You're never there. He trains solo. Are you in front or behind him?
Behind.
All right. Why Mango? Just fill that in.
The Mango Boys. Oh, mate, that's the mystery. Nah. We just did a session one day and we're cooling down, and two of us were like, geez, I really feel like a mango smoothie. I really love mangoes. And the other one was like, I hate mangoes. They're the worst fruit in the world. And we kind of just trolled him and said, well, our group's now called the Mango Boys, so suck it up.
All right, Mango Boys. You're the leader of the Mango Boys.
Yeah, we got merch coming soon, mate.
Zach will hook that up.
Absolutely not. He doesn't want anything to do with the Mango Boys, mate.
Nah. I reckon he'd like a mango smoothie, though. Okay. What do we got going on this week? Rachel, you're going to run in altitude. You notice it on the bike yet?
I think my heart rate's maybe a little bit higher, but it's a different elliptical in the gym here. Like it's one of those ones that tilts up and down. So I don't know, like it's not that much difference. I haven't really felt it yet, but I'll hopefully get a bit more running in this week. But I don't know, it'll be hard to balance up. Have I lost fitness or is it the thin air? I don't know.
You've got your road bike up there. Yeah. I would love, this is a challenge for you. Next time we're on the show, which is a week from now, I reckon I want to see where you rank on the list of times on the KOM of Falls Creek. Like ride down the hill and just have a look at the Falls Creek KOM, bottom to top, and just see where you can get yourself on that.
That's just on the main road, is it?
Yeah, main road. I reckon there'd be some races probably gone up there in the past.
Yeah, there was like a bike race on yesterday. I think it was a mountain bike race. So, but yeah, I'll give it a crack, even though I've told you today that I hate cycling.
Oh, but this is a perfect little challenge though to keep you interested.
All right.
And it'd be good for you going uphill for half an hour or so, probably more, right?
God.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think? Top 50, top 20 you could do?
No way. I'm terrible at cycling. Like I can cycle from A to B as a commute, but I did a sprint triathlon once a long time ago. I'm a very good swimmer. I was like my swimming club captain. I grew up swimming, and I was the fastest swimmer of the day. I was like the 6th fastest runner, and I was the last, like the 250th slowest cyclist. I'm so bad at cycling.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, what is it though? Why cycle? What do you bet?
I don't know. I never really like gelled with it. I always like it hurts my butt and hurts my back. Like, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna have to get good pretty quick because I'm just on.
How long are you out there for?
Just a week. So only 6
you got 1 week. So every day, go hard every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the proper one.
I could turn out like Toby by the end of the week. I'm a pro cyclist.
Oh, that's not a bad result for you. He got pretty fit off this.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
I wish I liked it, but I just don't.
Sarah Giganti has it. Sarah Giganti.
And what's the distance and what's the time?
Equal with Lucy Kennedy. You've got 29.56k of riding.
What?
Yeah. You've got
what's the average watts they averaged?
Average watts?
Or watts per kilo? Give us watts per kilo.
210? No, that just says power.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't say watts per kilo now.
I don't know what that is. But it's 1,300 meters of climbing.
What the hell?
I reckon this is good.
I won't make next week's podcast.
You have to start though. Here, I'll give you a start spot. That looks like Chalet Road. So if you just start from Mount Beauty, go down and have a coffee or a pie or something, and then just ride the road up. I'm sure you'll hit the segment.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
All right. This is cool. This will be fun.
Yeah, this will be good.
A couple of goes at it.
Yeah.
Reece, what do you got going on? You and the Mango Boys?
We will just jog around Melbourne a bit and not a whole lot, to be honest. Just kind of settle in before I go back to work the following week. So probably just get a session in. I'll probably send a message to the Mango Boys after this for a session tomorrow, maybe, and then another big one Saturday and maybe something Sunday.
Surely they don't follow your random training plan. Like you don't go, we're doing 2 sessions tomorrow, fellas. And they just go, yeah, okay, Reece, I'll join you for that.
Mate, I'll tell you what, when you like me, mate, anyone will follow.
Okay.
No, I'm definitely not the person they follow. They kind of, I kind of send a message and go, anyone keen for a session, and they'll just tell me what they're doing. I'll be like, yeah, I'll tag along.
That's the follower. All right, very good. Well, we'll see you all next week. Rachel, I hope you get some runs in and have. Oh, by the way, Naughty by Nature, Feel Me Flow. Did you ever listen?
I'll do it the last week. Last week of the podcast. Give me a few weeks to practice.
Yeah. Did you listen to the song yet?
Yeah,
no, I haven't.
To the song.
Yeah. Rachel listened.
Yeah. The air's too thin here for me to attempt rapping, though.
All right, we'll wait till you get back.
Were you going to mention about the event?
You're from South Tooting. You'll be good at this.
The event. Good. Yeah. Good. So 4th of Feb, date got shifted. 4th of February. It's a Sunday morning.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah, Sunday morning we're on. It's going to be around Albert Park. Look, precision, hydration, Mizuno going to be putting on a little bit of a test event. So we'll tease it out. Because I don't have all the full details here. Mm-hmm. However, we should be good to announce maybe next week. So if you're training for a marathon or something, you want a big long run, we're going to do it on Sunday, 4th of Feb, Albert Park. Yeah, should be fun. You guys will get down.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you coming up for it?
I will, yeah. I will.
Oh, that's different than what I heard this afternoon.
Well, no. I said I was coming.
Heard you were running scared this afternoon.
I said I was coming, and I'm not going to get sucked into some sort of race there because there's a few people that like racing.
So one thing, I never ever race and work out. Any of my training partners, every single one of them can vouch for that, so you don't have to worry about that.
All right, good. Yeah. The other thing we didn't touch on, sorry, Port Fairy Marathon 1 week before. You're going to do the full marathon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the full marathon, yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
no
smart.
problem. No
That's
problem.
smart.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not an elite runner, right? So I see myself just as, I do all right times, but I'm in it for the adventures, in it
How
for the
much money is
stories.
it? How much money you win down there?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
What's your appearance fee?
But $0.
There's some good cash on down there. It's going to be a good race, actually. You're not going to just collect the money yourself, by the way. There's a few floating around down there.
Oh, I know. I don't plan on. I probably won't even win it, mate. Don't worry.
Probably not.
I won't be ruining my legs for Osaka. That's for sure.
Just 40K of jogging then. 3.5 hours. 3 hours of jogging.
Oh no, I couldn't do that. I'll move along at a decent clip.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about this on the way through this series, I think.
Yeah.
But for now, see you later.
See ya.
Catches.
The Inside Running Podcast Road to Osaka series is powered by Mizuno, committed to making marathoners faster for now and the future.